All right, hi everyone. Hopefully everyone is ready to go for class today. We are going to get started in just a minute. I want to make sure that everyone is good to go. Seems like Naomi's having a problem. Let us know what it is in the comments if you are having a hard time logging onto your account or if you were just confused because we weren't live yet. It happens. So just let us know. All right, so like usual, we're going to be working on a project together today. Today is going to be a little bit different though. Today is our final day of our coding class. So basically what that means is that next week we won't have a class during this time, but you guys are more than welcome to rewatch an old video that you missed or watch another video on our channel to keep learning. And we will be holding a summer camp in the next few weeks. So if you're interested in that, you can let your parents know about it and then tell them to keep an eye out on our website where we'll be posting more information. So for our final class today, I thought it would be fun to do a choose your own adventure project. So basically what that means is that I'm going to give you 4 options for projects and I'll actually write them on my screen as well. And as always, let me know if you need me to zoom in, speak louder, anything like that. I can do it for you. So here are the 4 options we're going to come up with today. Of course, you can always do something a little bit different from what I'm challenging you with, but I'll be choosing one of these to do. So one is design a book cover. This could be for a book that you have read before or a book that you've heard about or just a book that you think would be super cool. Design a movie poster, which is kind of the same idea, but for this one, it could be any movie that you've seen or heard about or know is super cool. Same kind of idea. And then another one would be to design a historical figure. So if you wanted to do like Abe Lincoln, or if you wanted to do like, maybe there's a famous like Greek god that you want to do, or like anything like that. So that would be a good one. Or the other challenge is to design yourself. So we kind of did a project like this a while ago where we did a person, but now after weeks and weeks of learning and honing in your skills and getting better and better, hopefully, wait, can you guys hear me? Sorry, I just saw a comment on that. Let me know if you can't hear me and I can fix that. But let's see. Yeah, make sure your YouTube isn't muted, your computer isn't muted. And then if we're all good to go, let me know which one of these challenges you guys want me to do today. So I'll choose one to do and you can always choose to follow along with me, or you can choose to do your own project. So, as always, pretty much the same idea for class today as we've been doing. Okay, Julian said he can hear me, so I guess we're good to go. So, let me know in the comments if there's a specific one of these projects you want me to do today, and then also let me know if there's any projects that we didn't get to over the course of the class that you think would be super cool or super fun. And that could be a topic for our summer camp. So just let us know. All right, seems like everyone's good to go now. All right. So let's see. If no one chooses one that I'm gonna do, I think I'm gonna do the design a movie poster. I think that one would be super fun. But let me know in the comments if there is one specifically that you would like me to do, and I will do it. And then also let me know which one you guys are going to do, or if you're going to just come up with a project of your own. Actually, maybe I'll do design myself. Maybe that'll be a good one. I can't think of a movie that I really want to do. So maybe if I think of a movie, I'll do that one too. That's the great thing about a project like this, is that you can choose to do one of them, or you can choose to do all of them, or two of them, whatever you want. So I'm just going to get started. I'm going to start out by doing one of each shape, basically. So I'm going to start with an ellipse, E-L-L-I-P-S-E, as always. And I'm going to have it centered right here, which is just about the center of my canvas. And that's at an X value of 250 and a Y value of 150. All right, I'm going to do the design myself challenge. I've just decided. So I'm going to make my head 50 units wide by 50 units tall. And I think actually that's a little bit too small. So let's do 75, 75. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. And I think I'm going to move it up a little bit. So instead of being at a Y value of 150, I'm going to move it up to 100. So you guys can get started with whatever project you want to do, or you can code along with me as per usual. So I have my ellipse in there, and now I'm going to use a rectangle as like my torso. So I'm going to do a rect, R-E-C-T, and I'm going to have it go from this point right here, which is about like 230, 130, and I'm going to have it be maybe like 40 wide and like 70 tall, something like that. I'm going to have it be a little bit wider, I think. So I'm going to have it go from 220, 120. Yeah, and then I'm going to make it like 60 wide. All right, and then what I'm going to do is I'm noticing now that my head is behind my torso, which is not really what I want. I want it to look like, kind of like I have a neck. So I'm going to put these in a different order. So I'm going to put a rectangle before I put my ellipse. So by just changing the order of it, it makes it look totally different, right? So you could try to just cover it up with a different color line or something like that, but changing the order of your code is a really easy way. Changing the order is a really easy way to get something to look better. And of course, this isn't going to look like an actual person. You can't really do the like detail and shading that you would need in this, or with what we know so far. So it's just going to look kind of like a cartoon person. So the next thing I'm going to do is a line, and I'm actually going to go back and I'm going to make some comments on my shapes so I know what body part they are, so when I go back and do like the colors, it's easier. Alright, so I'm going to do a head, torso, and then the next I'm going to do my arms. Okay, so for the arms I'm going to do a line. And lines are a little bit tricky, but we can totally do them. So basically you're going to choose the point that you want it to start at. So mine, first one, the X value is 280 and the Y value is going to be 137. And then I'm going to choose where I want it to end. So I want it to end at a X value of 307 and a Y value of 175. And if you're wondering how I'm getting such specific points, it's because I'm using this little key down here, which basically tells you the X and Y coordinate of wherever your mouse is. So I'm actually going to change this Y value so that it's a little bit smaller. So it goes a little bit higher on my torso. All right, I like the way that looks. Like I said, it's not going to be a proper person, but it's something. And then maybe I'll make it look like my other arm is like sitting on my hip. So my arm is like bent like this, so I'll use two lines to do that. So I'm going to do another line, and that's going to be at an X value of 220 and a Y value of 127. So it makes it a little bit easier because we already did 1 point, so we just have to do the next one. All right, I think I'm gonna have it bend from like right here, which would be 193, 156. And then basically what I'm going to do to make it look like that arm is bent is just put another line that starts from the ending point of the line and just goes to part of the torso. So I'm going to make a line, and like I said, I'm going to take that ending point, which is 193, 156, and I'm going to tell it where to end. So I want it to end right about here, right about 220, 175. Cool. So now it looks like I have one arm just hanging there and the other arm on my hip. All right, perfect. So let me know how you guys are doing. Hopefully if we have some time at the end of class today, we can share some projects. Just kind of depends on how you guys are doing. So so far I have my head, my torso, and my arms. I don't have like eyes or a mouth or anything like that yet, so it's not really close to done, but it's going pretty well. Okay. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to use a triangle, and I'm thinking about how I could use a triangle right now. Maybe I'll put like a party hat on my head. Is anyone's birthday coming up? Maybe I can like have a birthday party going on in the background for anyone. So I'm going to make a party hat, and I'm going to do a triangle. And I'm going to push it a little bit to the side so it doesn't look like a unicorn horn. So it's going to start at 262, 33. And remember that doing a triangle is just like doing a line, but you're going to give it 3 points instead of giving it 2 points. And remember, giving it 3 points means that there's 6 numbers total that you're putting in. So far I put in the X and the Y of the starting. And then I'm going to put the X and the Y for the second point, which I can look down there and see it's 272, 68. And then I can give the ending point, which I want to be about right here. So about 250, 62. Okay. Maybe I'll move. I think it looks fine. Okay, Naomi said one of her classmates' birthdays is coming up, which is awesome, so maybe we'll celebrate their birthday. All right, so I'm actually going to move the code for my party hat above my head so it looks like the party hat is kind of underneath the head. I don't know if I like the way that looks. I like it. We're sticking with it. Okay, so next up, I'm going to do, how am I going to do the legs? So I think what I'm going to do for the legs is I'm going to make a rectangle that starts from the bottom point of the torso, so 220, 190, is the same width, which if I look up, I can see that it's 60 wide. And then I'm going to make it taller so it looks more like legs. So I think that looks pretty good. And then what you can do, Arnav's birthday's in July, so we're going to celebrate him. Awesome. So I'm going to make a party sign really quick. Birthday, oops. Okay, so, oops. So I'm just going to make a little, like birthday sign for Arnav. So let's see. And awesome. Let me know what your favorite color is, Arnav, and I'll make the sign in your favorite color. So I'm going to just change the text font. And this is not something that you guys have to do. I'm just doing it for fun. Let's see. Let me know what your favorite color is, and I will make the text that color. For now I'm just gonna make it black. Okay, oh, I'll do both of you. That's perfect. Happy late birthday, Julian. Awesome, lots of birthdays. Maybe I'll put it at the bottom. All right, what color should I make it? Anyone? There we go, that looks pretty good. Black and red. Thunderbolt. Okay, I'm gonna make the text red because Julian said that it was one of his favorite colors and black was the other one, but I think that the red is going to look pretty cool, which it does. Okay, cool. So I have my little party person here, and the next thing that I'm going to do, so I was working on the legs, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just take this rectangle and I'm just gonna make a line right in the middle. So I'm just gonna make it look like 250, 224, and then have it go all the way down to 250, 290, and that way it actually looks like there's two legs that are just separated by a line. That's just a little cheat that we can use to make it look like something's moving, or to make it look like there's two rectangles when we only did the work for one. Okay, so now I need to add on some feet. So again, for the feet, I'm gonna just use rectangles. So I'm gonna have the foot start right here. Which is 200, 275. And then I want it to go all the way over here. So I'm going to make it about 50 wide and then like 20 tall. Just a reminder, you guys, try not to like spam the group chat a little bit too much. We will have to just erase whatever you guys write if it ends up being too much. Okay, and I'm gonna do my other foot, and it is gonna kind of look like my feet are like pointing outwards, but you know, we're working with what we've got. So the next foot is going to go from here, which is 250, 275, and again, I'm gonna make it 40 wide and 20 tall. Okay, so we can make our party guy move too. We can like make him move across the screen. I'll do that towards the end. So we've got about like 12 minutes left, so we've got plenty of time. So I'm just gonna throw like a smiley face on this guy. It doesn't really look like me, but that's okay. So this is going to be my face. So I'm gonna do 2 ellipses, one for each eye. So put one at 230, 95, making it, let's make it like 10 wide and 5 tall and see how that looks. It doesn't really look like an eye. It doesn't not look like an eye. Maybe I'll make it a circle because it does already look a little cartoony. Now I'll put the other eye right here. It's gonna be a little bit wonky. Let's try it still. We'll see. So 270, comma, 95, 10 by 10. Okay, they're eyeballs. That works. And maybe we can put like a surprised face. Trying to think of what the best way to do this would be. Let's think about it. Maybe we'll just do a line for his mouth and just make him look kind of like not super excited. Let's just do it. We'll see how it looks. So 236, comma 118, comma not 236. Let's do like 260, comma 118. Okay. So here is our not super happy party guest. It's okay that he doesn't look super happy. Maybe he had a long day. I'm gonna add in some color. So we'll do a red party hat to match. And you'll see that as soon as I add this in, everything is gonna turn red. So we're gonna have to fix that. So I'm gonna do black, here. I want the head to be filled in. Let's just make it white because I don't really have time to look for colors. There we go. So we'll have a black shirt, a red party hat, and let's just put some like blue jeans, like a blue color. Oh, now the eyes are blue. Let's fix that. Oops. I keep putting the comment lines where I don't need them. Blue shoes, maybe we should do red shoes. Okay, so I'm just adding in some color. The eyes look a little bit creepy, not gonna lie. Maybe I'll have them filled in black. Maybe that'll make them look less or more creepy. They look okay. They look okay. We're gonna go with that. Okay, so a few people asked how we would make our character move. So here's what we'll do. I will make my character, actually this font is a little bit hard to read. Yeah, we're gonna do that. So I'm gonna make a couple of little animating things happen in the time that we have left. There we go, that is perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna just show you guys how to have a little bit of animation because we only have about 5 minutes left. So maybe we'll make it so that our guy walks on and off the screen. That's like a pretty simple animation. So above function draw, you're going to make a variable. So you go up top, not inside a function setup, just on its own line, and you're gonna write var. And you're gonna see if you did it right, that the text is gonna turn purple. Then you're gonna put a space and give your variable a name. You could name it your own name, you could name it, whatever. So what you do wanna name it though is something that relates to the character. So I'm going to name him birthday. So var birthday equals, and I'm just going to say 0. So now I have a variable, which is something that can change. So a variable is like the length of your hair or the time or the date. Those are all things that change, right? And so we're going to make it so that our character's location can change. Specifically, we want him to move left or right, so that's going to be the x coordinate. So what we're going to do is go down to all of the shapes that make up our character, and we're going to add birthday to all of the x values. And remember, when you do something like a like a line or a triangle, you have to add it into all three or both of the x values that you put in. When you do a rectangle, it's a little bit easier because you just have to add it to the first value, which is your only x value. Same thing for an ellipse. So down here I have a line, so I'm going to do plus birthday. I can't type apparently. I'm going to go right here, plus birthday. And I'm just going to do that for each one of my lines. So it's the first number and the third number. When you're doing an ellipse or a rectangle, you just have to add it to the first number. When you're doing a line, you have to add it to the first and the third. And when you're doing a triangle, you add it to the first, the third, and the fifth. So if you have a triangle, it makes it a little bit more complicated, but that's okay. It's also good to just like copy the plus sign with the variable. It'll make it so much easier for you to go through and add it in to all of your different shapes. And one other thing that you want to be careful about, you want to make sure that you don't add it to the color unless you want the color to change too, which is totally fine. We could have like color changing pants on this guy if we wanted. So right now we have our character, and I probably have a lot more shapes than you guys do, so hopefully you are caught up if you wanted to make yours move. So you just add in whatever you named your variable to each one of the x values, and then we're going to add in a magic line that makes everything actually work. So I'm going to do birthday equals birthday plus 1. And now what's happening is everything in function draw gets read 60 times every second. So every time that it's being read, it's adding 1 to wherever birthday was to start. So the reason that he's leaving this little like trail behind, which is not exactly what we're looking for, is because right now I have no background. So I'm going to go up to the very top and I'm going to add in a background, and that'll make it so that my character doesn't drag on the screen. You can also see that I missed one of the values to add in. So there's a part of his leg that's dragging behind. So now I can go down and say, okay, here's where I did a line and I only added it to the first value. So I want to go ahead and put that in for the third value as well. So now my character rolls across the screen. And then the last thing that you'll want to do is make a little conditional statement. And this is something, we've gone over all of this before, but I'm just going over it one more time. So the last thing that we want to do is say, okay, our character will run off the screen and disappear, which is not ideal. So to make our character come back, basically, we're going to make a conditional statement. And a conditional statement is something that says, if something happens, then something else will happen. So I'm going to say, if, in parentheses, birthday, which is the X location of our character. So if the birthday location becomes greater than this line right here, so it's greater than, so that inequality sign is really important, greater than, and I'm going to say 500, then what I want to happen, and you say then by putting in curly brackets, and you just want to say birthday equals 0 to start. So now it's going to check, okay, if my character reaches the point where he's at 500, then it's going to come back to 0. Okay, so you'll see that he kind of looks like he appears in the middle of the screen. Not exactly what I want. So instead of having 0, you can use a negative number, like negative 200, and that'll put him 200 spaces back from where he would originally start. Oh, I did 2,000. That's not what I wanted. Okay. And also, another thing to consider is if you want him to go faster, instead of adding 1, you can add 5, and that'll go way faster. Cool. So now we have our little character who disappears and then reappears on the screen, and that is all that we have time for today. So just a reminder, this was our very last class. I hope that you guys have had fun. I've had a lot of fun working on projects with you guys. If you ever want to go back and review something that we did in class, they're all on our YouTube channel, along with a bunch of other videos. And then you guys can also let us know if there's a specific theme that you want us to cover over summer camp, and hopefully we see you guys at summer camp. It's going to be a little bit different. I think we're going to do it over Zoom instead of YouTube Live, so it'll be a little bit, more interactive for you guys. You guys can talk to each other. So hopefully you can join us for that, and thank you for coming to class. We will, see you this summer. All right, bye guys.